The Mandalorian is easily one of the best shows in the entire Star Wars universe, but how much of that show was actually about Boba Fett? Let's find out. This is the Boba Fett show that Boba forgot. We jump to lightspeed through the highs and lows. Season 1 is a masterpiece, a perfect blend of Western sci-fi adventure with just enough Star Wars flavoring to make it feel like, well, you were watching Star Wars? It gave us some of the most iconic moments in recent memory, from the child in the floating bassinet, to the reveal of IG-11, to the epic conclusion of the first season. And yes, it was simple. There were no crazy twists, just good old-fashioned space adventure. And then Grogu happened. Now, don't get us wrong, we love Grogu as much as the next Star Wars fan, but let's be real, Grogu is a merch magnet. No, we're not saying he's not a good character because he is. He's just undeniably a cash grab. Think about it. How many products does Grogu merchandise exist for? The kid isn't even 2 feet tall, and half of his face is covered by a floating hood. Yet, there are plushies, action figures, Lego sets, pajamas, Halloween costumes, Christmas sweaters. You name it, you can slap Grogu's face on it and sell it to a die-hard Star Wars mom who will buy it, even though she doesn't know if her 8-year-old son will like it or not. Don't believe us? Check out the comments section of any video where we talk about Grogu. We guarantee 90% of them will be some variation of Grogu is so cute. I need all the plushies. In fact, just write, I need all the plushies in the comments right now. We bet at least half of you will do it. Come on, admit it. You all fell for it. But regardless, we still can't wait to see what he does next in The Mandalorian. Next up, we have Boba's episodes. Now, don't get us wrong, Boba's episodes were awesome. They gave us some of the best action sequences in the entire series so far, and they introduced us to some truly despicable characters. However, the problem is they kind of hijacked the plot. If you recall, the second season of The Mandalorian was supposed to be about finding the way to bring back Ahsoka Tano. However, this plan was derailed when Boba Fett decided to claim the throne of Tatooine and run for daimyo. And while that's an interesting story on its own, it took away from the overall plot of the season, which was ultimately resolved rather anticlimactically in Chapter 21. S3 lacked stakes. The entire season felt like one big fan service session. And don't get us wrong, there's nothing wrong with fan service, but when it's the only purpose of a story, you end up with something hollow and lacking in substance. What we mean is that The Mandalorian had none of the urgency or excitement of the previous seasons. Yes, there were some great action scenes and some interesting plot twists, but overall, it just didn't matter. We knew from the very beginning that Mando and Grogu would be fine no matter what. In fact, the whole season felt like a series of video game cutscenes rather than an actual story. And yet, it's still better than most Disney shows. If you think about it, The Mandalorian was almost a victim of its own success. The first season was so good that it set an incredibly high bar for the rest of the series. And while The Mandalorian has certainly had its moments in later seasons, it hasn't been able to recapture the magic of its first. Don't believe us? Ask yourself this. What is the one thing you remember the most about The Mandalorian? Is it the epic space battles, or the charming cast of characters, or maybe the stunning visuals? Or is it the fact that a baby Yoda was placed in a floating bassinet and then shot at by a bunch of stormtroopers? Exactly. The Mandalorian may not be the most complex or thought-provoking show out there, but it doesn't need to be. It's just fun. Space Western with a healthy dose of nostalgia. And in a world that's become increasingly dark and divided, sometimes that's all you need. What did you think? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fun Star Wars content.